emulate the office environment that she's created for her clients. She has also been involved in numerous professional organizations here in Dublin. To highlight a few, she served on the Dublin Community Foundation Board and was co-chair of the Dublin Branch Library Capital Campaign. And if everybody's seen the library, it was quite an event. Dr. Clinton was also recognized, along with her husband Chris, as the 2019 honorary chairs of the Dublin Irish Festival for their longtime support of the Dublin Irish Festival. And everybody knows what a monumental amount of work that is to get that done. So, please join me in congratulating Dr. Carol Clinton as the Snowflake Gala honoree.
Number one, it's an honor to be here. Number two, I normally am able to speak without notes, but I'm actually going through my third time with treatment for cancer, so I've got my notes in front of me to keep me on track and to keep me on time, because otherwise you guys aren't going to get the opportunity to bid on all these fantastic drinks that are gifts. On the fantastic alcohol that we've got going on here this evening. So anyway, thank you for making me feel so special tonight. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank all of the members of the Dublin Women's Philanthropic Club, and I would say this is the second time I've gotten to do something fun for this organization. One year somebody came to me, and clearly they'd never been in my house, but it was when you did the home tours back in 2006, and they're like, well, we need one more house, would you do it? And I said, well, sure. And then the very next person I had was one of my dear friend's mom, who was an interior designer, and she's like, how are you doing today? And I'm like, well, not very good, because I just volunteered my house, and it's a mess. Like, it's just like a kid's playground. And so she walked in my house, and she's like, yes, we need to do something here. So this is the second time, and it's been great. So thank you so much. And my house has looked great since 2006. The ripple effect of what you've done for 30 years is immeasurable, and it's reverberates and grows what's good in our community, as you just heard here just before me. And you know, your heart is what leads you to stand in the gap of what people need to become. So thank you for what you do. And you set an example for so many. You might never know the extent to which you changed the trajectory of someone's life. And I really think back to my own experience. When I was 18, if you asked me what philanthropy meant, I would have had no idea. And when I was taking my leap out of Northeast Ohio, and coming down to Ohio State, it was the Zonta Club that made it happen for me. They gave me a $500 scholarship. And it really gave me a vote of confidence in myself that I could do and be what I wanted to be. And the Zonta Club is a service and advocacy group that's not too different than this, that works locally and globally to empower women. So I know we empower men in this group too, and give scholarships, but Zonta is specifically for women. And it meant a lot that they were willing to invest in me. I didn't really want to let them down, so I worked hard, and I kept it in the back of my mind that one day I would return the generosity when I was able. The second time I received a gift was, I was in the Stadium Scholarship Dormitory, and back in those days, we actually lived in the stadium, which was pretty good. It's really hard for me to go to an Ohio State football game because I used to live there, and we'd go inside at halftime and have, hot dogs at halftime, and I know it's fun being in the parking lot, but I tell you, living in the stadium is way more fun. And back in those days, it was student run, so we had like 2 adults, and the rest of it was just students. Like, we ran the insane asylum, is all I can say. There's a lot of good stories, but living in Woody Hayes' home, we really all had to reflect on what it meant to pay it forward. And so as my college years and medical training journey unfolded, I became more focused on the way in which I wanted to have an impact in the world, not just with patient care, which I am a passionate believer in, that it's a two-way street between the doctor and the patient, but also how I wanted to act in my community and the world. It probably will be no surprise to you that I landed on education, healthcare, and as a business owner, business are my passions. You know, in education, I've given it back to Ohio State as best I could, and the programs that helped me become who I am today. My husband and I are members of the President's Club, and we also totally believe in giving back locally in the communities in which we've lived. You know, the school systems here, anytime someone comes in and their individual school is doing a fundraiser, Mary Beth Estwanick knows because she puts it all together for us, but we're happy to give to the local schools. Speaking of Mary Beth, she makes sure that we also give to Big Brothers and Big Sisters generously every year. She's very involved with that. And we believe in the Dublin Irish Festival for many reasons, for all of the community events that they support, plus the individual scholarships. Christy has made sure that we become involved with the Dublin Food Pantry because, believe it or not, there are people in need here in our community that require food support, even if you don't think about it as you would other communities. And I just want to give a shout out to the Dublin Arts Council. Before there was a bed tax, I was over at the Dublin Arts Council and they were really struggling in the summertime to get their summer programs funded for the kids. So I just went in and I asked them how much did they need, and we just wrote a check. So it's great to see that you're supported by our community. And then in healthcare, you know, for 15 years I was in the emergency department at Mount Carmel, and whether or not you realize it, the emergency department takes all comers, and the group that I was with, Emergency Services Incorporated, not one of us would ever look at a chart to figure out if someone was paying or not, but we did know that 30% of what we did was unreimbursed health care, which it may be even higher now. And it was with great humility that I got to work with that group. And then it's been great fun and an honor to ride with Girls with Gears. I hope out here in Dublin we can get ourselves a community like that who pays it forward into the James and the Pelotonia. And I had the honor of knowing and working with Dr. James as a medical student, and he was awesome, and he served his patients well, and now I feel like he serves the world well, even though he's been gone from us for a while. And currently, I personally benefit from the philanthropy this great institution has had, and I've been able to live and breathe well beyond what they expected my expiration date to be. So, and in business, I donate my time and resources as best I can. I'm a member of the Entrepreneurs Organization, and I give back to this organization every ounce I can for other people to be able to build a business, to be able to give back to their community and the world. And it was also just, I don't even know where to put the fundraising for the library. What a great honor that was to run that and to drive past that every day. It lifts our entire community up, it lifts businesses up, it lifts up education in our community, what our schools get, the support that we give to children before they even arrive in kindergarten is amazing, and as I drive past there every day, it actually brings a tear to my eyes because libraries are what made me have a passion for education. Finally, I'm on the board of Village Hokor in Chogoria, Kenya. I went on safari and I had so much fun. It was 2 weeks and we really got to know, my oldest daughter and myself, the group that we were with, and some of them were super wealthy people. It was amazing. And when we got to this little town, Chogoria, there was a physician in our group who had a nonprofit there, and the nonprofit was almost busted broke. And they had, they support businesses, and they do that by, people would say, I want to start a business, and they would do a microloan, and it would be a microloan with a very low interest rate, not some of these higher ones you may hear about. And if you got chosen, your family got health care, because they know in Africa one of the basic issues is that people aren't healthy, so they can't go to work, they can't go to school, and therefore their economy is severely impacted by that. So we got to see the amazing work this doctor was doing, supporting businesses, supporting healthcare, and the people who were running businesses, most of them didn't even know what a bank was or a checking account. So they got education in business. So clearly this reverberated with me. And then the gentleman who was running it was in front of all of us, and he told us about his great work, and he just never asked for money. So when he got up and he left, I looked around the room and I knew the net worth of some of the people who I was on safari with, because I'd been in 2 weeks, and I just said, you know, before anybody leaves this room, if anybody wants to, I'm putting $5,000 in, and I would love if you felt so moved that you would do it too, so we could help this organization. And I had to say, most of the people who are in that room are still on the board of this Village Hope Corps in Kenya, and they have an operating budget of $1.5 million per year now. So it's great to see that. So thanks for celebrating this evening with me and letting me talk about some of the things that I don't even think about what I do or what I've done. A girlfriend came over and said to me this week, well, you do so much. And I said, really? I just feel like I'm just an average person trying to go about my life. And she said, no, you do a lot. And I said, well, then can you write my speech for me? and she did help me. So thanks for celebrating this evening, but more importantly, let's celebrate each other and the lives we touch from the work of our hearts and hands. And we're here to bid, so let's make some money for this organization and have a good time this evening. Thank you.